What up, what up, what up? Once again, you're now tuned in to the Progression Podcast with your host, 007 Man. And it's a great day, great week, great month, great year. And man, we're so overjoyed that God woke us up this morning to do this show. I want to shout out to Josiah's House Ministries and all the good people over there doing good work. And man, it's just been a great thing, great thing. I want to get right into it, man. So, because I'm so pumped for this one, I'm just so pumped. Like I said, you're tuned in to Progression Podcast, man. The Progression Podcast, where we speak liberation, education, and elevation. Like I say, I was liberated from a street life, educated in the prison system, and elevated once I gave my life to Jesus Christ, right? So I like to get into it with my theme scripture that I do all the time, every podcast, because this is what inspired me. It comes from 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are brand new. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away, and behold, all things are brand new. Man, it's good to be with you. And I'm going to jump right into it because I really want to get with this one. Man, the dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately. The dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately. You can dream it all you want to. You can talk about it all you want to. You want to be this, you want to be that. But it takes steps, man. It takes the hustle to get there, right? So what we want to do, we want to start you off with how to begin doing that, man. Be doing the hustle and get out of the dream state, right? We want to get into that. So the first thing we got to do, tell yourself the truth. Tell yourself the truth. We have to gauge where we are in life. If we don't know something, we got to admit it. We can't be afraid to ask questions when we don't know. You got to tell yourself the truth. Where am I in life? Where am I education-wise? Tell yourself the truth about your financial situation, about your financial ability. You got to tell yourself the truth about every aspect of your life. Tell yourself the truth. It's so important, man. And then you got to press reset. You got to press reset, man. Press reset because sometimes our bodies, our minds, our lives are like a cell phone. When you got too many apps on that phone, man, it's going to shut down. It's going to shut down because it's working. It's doing so much stuff behind the scenes. So many apps are still working. And then it's going to just shut down. But what you got to do, you got to see what's all in there, man. And you got to go through there and start deleting apps that you really don't need, that have been hanging on for so long. Man, delete those apps, man, and press reset, man. And then you got to start from the bottom and start where you need to start to get where you want to go. Now, the next one is educate yourself. Educate yourself. It's things that you want to do in life. It's places that you want to be, positions that you want at work. It's a lot of things, but you don't know how to get there yet. So the thing you have to do is educate yourself on how to get there, on what to do. You have to be open to learning the knowledge to get there, right? Like it says in the Bible, the wise love knowledge, but the fool feeds on trash. That's in Proverbs. The wise love to gain knowledge, but the fool feeds on trash. So you gain the knowledge. Now, one thing by gaining the knowledge, you have to be teachable. You have to be teachable, man, because if you think you know everything, well, it's a lot of people that don't like to deal with people that think they know everything. When I was a supervisor at my job, at my, thing, I had several people, but several of my direct reports, those people thought they knew everything about the job. You couldn't tell them nothing or nothing. But I would like to work with the guys that you could be that was teachable, that you could tell them something what to do, because I would rather work with them than work with the dudes that think they know everything. Right? So be teachable, man. Be teachable. Now, in your life, you got to start the demolition. Start the demolition. You know, like it's like when you rebuilding the home, you gotta tear some stuff down. It's some stuff that's around you, man, that people are doing that you are not doing, and you gotta start the demolition, man. You gotta start the demolition, because it's some stuff that just can't carry over into the life you're about to lead and the life you're about to go to. It's some stuff that you don't need around you, man. Start the demolition. Now, this is a real important one, and I think I'm going to take my time with it. Take your time to rebuild. Take your time to rebuild. I say this because a lot of times, man, guys call me, and I talk to a lot of people that been incarcerated before, and these are true stories. And the dudes can comment on here whatever they want to. When they call me, they say, "Dang, Double O, man, it's hard out here, man. I've been out for 6 months, 7 months, and man, I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to do the right thing, and I try to remind them and encourage them that what you have now is better than what you had when you were in there." Now, I like to wake up to good smelling stuff. I wake up to my wife, oh, she's smelling good, and she's in the bed, and I wake up to a good life. I don't want to wake up to feet and fart no more. That's just not me. So I'm not gonna do that. I'd rather wake up with my wife in my bed and go to work. However menial job it is, I'll do that instead of returning to prison, where I done gave up my rights to society, and then I have somebody else telling me what to do every day. They're telling me what to do every day. So I'm gonna tell you, one time a guy told me, he said, "I'm your daddy, right?" And I was like, "Man, what?" This was a guard in prison. He was telling me, because I was fussing with my wife out in the in the room. So when she left for visit, he said, "Man, I'm your daddy." And I was like, "Man, get on with that, man. Stop that." He said, "Yeah, I'm your daddy, man. I tell you when to eat, when to sleep, when to make your bed. I tell you when you can come visit. I tell you when to go to lunch and all that stuff. So I'm really your daddy. And you forfeited your rights to society, but you got the nerve to be in there fussing with that woman that can really leave you alone in a blink of an eye." And at the moment, I was like, "Oh man, shut up." But I really thought about it when I got back to my cell, and I was like, "Man, I forfeited my rights to society, man. For real." My life was just so out of control that I had to have somebody that can control it. And they controlled it for a while, right? So take your time to rebuild out here, man. It's way better out here than in there, I'm telling you. So you taking your time to rebuild. What you got to remember is that it's going to take time to get where you want to go. But sometimes you got to do what you don't want to do to get where you want to go, right? Take your time to rebuild, man. It's gonna come, man. I'm telling you a story. When I got out of prison, the last time I got out of prison, I lost my car. Yeah, the only thing I had was my house, me and my wife, and man, I was riding the bus. I had a business and I had a store, but I was riding the bus. And it was so humbling to me till I say, man, I was a Fifth Ward boy, man. I was traveling the world. I was wearing jewelry. I was doing this. I was doing that. But man, look at me now. I'm on the bus. But you know what? I stuck with that. I just went inch by inch by inch, and yearly and yearly and yearly. My wife had to remind me the other day about how far I've came. She sent me a text that had my yearly earning, my annual earnings. And so that was 16 years when I got out, 16 years ago. But When I saw the number, I was like, wow, I came from that to this. Man, God is amazing, man. If you take your time, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and understand that all those things will be added unto you, man. And so I want to just uh, tell you that. Take your time to rebuild, man. Let's go back over everything right now, man. The dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately, right? Tell yourself the truth. These are the steps. Tell yourself the truth. Know where you are in life, education wise, and everything, right? And so then you got to press reset, man. If you got too much stuff going on, man, that's not worth nothing, I got to say this. I got a flow. I got a certain flow now. And so my flow, if anything is messing up my flow, I have to discard it. Anything that's messing up my flow, man, I gotta discard it. I can't do certain things that I used to do, be with certain people that I used to be with, do the things that they're doing. So I got a flow that I'm going on. So you gotta understand, I press reset. I got rid of a lot of baggage that was, holding me down, and I had to get rid of them. Like I explained about the apps and the phone, I had to get rid of that stuff, man, so I can go and press reset, right? Then educate yourself. I had to educate myself on what the other people are doing, right? The other people are doing that are successful. I started seeing people that were successful and mimicking what they were doing. I started finding out the habits of a successful person. You got to educate yourself on that, man. And then what you got to be is you got to be teachable. Like I said, be teachable, dog. Understand that you don't know everything, man, and see what everybody is saying about you and what you want to be. You can learn from a dope fiend, man. I learned a lot from a dope fiend, and I learned a lot from a lot of people, and I just put that stuff together, ate the meat, threw away the bone, and I was teachable, right? Then I started the demolition of my life, right? All those foolish things, I had to just get out. I had to tear it down, and then it was time to rebuild. And I took my time to rebuild. And man, it's been a journey, but man, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't trade it for the world. My last thoughts, man. You are greater than you think. You're greater than you think, man. There's some things that you're going to do, man. You're going to be a great person, man, if you just keep your eyes on the prize, go straight forward, man. Don't look back. Keep your blinders on, man. Love people, man. Know the ABCs of this thing, man. Love people and love yourself, man. And do those things. These are the steps, man, that we got to take, man, if you want to uh, uh, rebuild your life and have success, right? The dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately, man. I want to thank everybody for subscribing to all the podcast platforms and YouTube. You can see all my videos on YouTube, man. And I hate to give it away because I'm not one of those people just say stuff. I'm gonna do it first because, man, it's gonna be some phenomenal stuff. I'm talking about seminars. We have some things that's just about to come, man. And so I thank God that He's allowing us to do this, right? And so leave your comments on this video, man. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think, man, because I take criticism, constructive criticism, and I love affirmation. You know what I'm saying? I love affirmation. Now, like I always tell you, hey, man, don't let your yesterday kill your tomorrow, man. Don't let your yesterday kill your tomorrow, and God can blow your mind only if you let him, man. The Progression Podcast 007, man, and the people at Josiah's House Ministries, we thank you. I'm out, man. Peace. Love y'all.